Welcome to SEC Football Live here on the 440 Sports Network. That is Trey Wallace of Fox. I am Braden Gall, and you can follow us all over the internet. We're brought to you by good, great American local craft beer, Tennessee Brew Works here in Middle Tennessee and in Nashville. Great place to pregame for all your Broadway, downtown, visiting parties, and all the things you're going to do when you come to Nashville. Make sure you incorporate Tennessee Brew Works into your trip to Nashville, Tennessee. And if you live here, you know all about all these beers: Yazoo, East Nashville Beer Works, and Tennessee Brew Works. They are great local small businesses here in Nashville trying to make it all work and make it all happen. Trey, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Started a little break this week. Obviously, I decided just to work with you.
And you're still tweeting about Brennan Sorsby. So,
well, I kind of have to. I mean, I got to see the story through, I guess the best way to put it, which was just a bad deal for him. Like,
got to collect your winnings.
Yeah, exactly. Meaning he should have held out anyways and not played this season and just played arena football or whatever league he could get in. I don't know what league goes on in the winter. German football. They do have that over there. So everything's going good, man. Going to Vegas on Thursday, first time as a regular citizen, not just working.
I've only been one time, and it was not for work purposes. But we went like 4 months after my wife and I had our first child.
Oh, Lord.
And it was our first ever trip away from the baby, and it did not go well. We both just fell asleep everywhere. I fell asleep in Cirque du Soleil. Fell asleep. I was so tired.
You don't have
any newborns, so you're fine.
But I have no planning power over this. This all came together within like 2 days. And my dad was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Vegas?"
Dude.
And I was like, okay.
Go to Absinthe.
See, you're the third
dude. It is one of the best. It is one of the best shows I have ever seen. It's up there with like Book of Mormon.
Really?
Yeah, Book of Mormon is my favorite. I don't do musicals that much at all. I like Hamilton. I like a couple other ones, but I laughed so hard at Book of Mormon. My wife took me, and we might have had some performance enhancers, but it was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. And Absinthe is actually one of the coolest things I've seen. It's up there in that category. Absinthe is great. So, tiny little show. It's great. Go there.
So he kind of gave it away like a little bit of the itinerary and said, "Hey, we're going to the Sphere twice." And I was like, "All right, let me look and see what's at the Sphere." And so it was Wizard of Oz and Kenny Chesney. And I was like, "Oh, okay. We're going to see Kenny Chesney at the Sphere along with the Wizard of Oz." I'm like, all right.
I mean, Wizard of Oz at the Sphere could be real interesting.
especially if I potentially dabble in some fun things. Alcohol.
Dabble away.
Alcohol.
If you're here in town, Tennessee Brew Works and East Nashville Beer Works and Yazoo. If you're in Vegas, it's peyote and ayahuasca.
Oh, I was just talking about alcohol, Braden. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
So no, looking forward to that, man. Just kind of tuning out a little bit, checking out for the next couple of weeks, which obviously there's going to be news. And and before you know it, we'll be media day time. So we're here.
I'm doing I get to do this is the time of year where I get to do Feinbaum a lot, so I'll be hosting Feinbaum a lot coming up. I got to make sure you're coming on with me, okay?
Yeah, no, we got to get that lined up. We're
gonna live produce Feinbaum after America turns 250. That's when I'm hosting Feinbaum. So I'm coming.
Yeah, they can have me on now. I work for Feinbaum.
There you go. All right. So here's the thing. I thought we'd have some fun today. You're on vacation. It's summer. There's not a lot going on here. We got a couple of weeks until major SEC stuff starts happening. Yeah. But the magazines are out, and I was kind of flipping through, and I was just thinking through, Trey, like how, the characters of this story, because this story that we're writing is not just of 2026. It's not just about all the stuff that you and I are kind of tired of talking about, people are tired of hearing about, which is this sort of like congressional solving of the college football problem. We already joked about Sorsby and NIL and all this other stuff.
Yep.
But like the story itself is so good in the SEC from like a storyline drama standpoint that we don't even need that other stuff, because the Big Ten has won 3 straight titles, 3 different teams. The SEC hasn't played in the national championship game. And this is their thing. This is our thing in the South, college football. And so the stories, like, it puts more gravity and weight and value on all these different characters in the SEC in 2026. That could be coordinators. That could be head coaches. That could be athletic directors. That could be quarterbacks, pass rushers, you name it. It could be anybody. And so I thought, let's do a quick little draft where we go back and forth and, a la a large multinational beer, not a good local craft beer like Tennessee Brew Works. Like, stay thirsty, my friends. Drink.
I see what you did there.
The most interesting man in the SEC. So I want to go back and forth on this. And I'm trying not to take more than one person in one role. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying not to just take like 5 quarterbacks and 5 coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Or just straight up Dylan Stewart.
I'm going to try. Hey, don't be taking my picks. I'm going to try to kind of branch out and pick different people in different roles because they're all going to have a different type of impact, right? The coaches, the players, the administrators, they all have a different impact on what's going on. So I've got some names off the board, and we're going to go back and forth, and we'll break each one down. We'll talk through it. But if you take a person, I can't take that person. And if I take a person, you can't take that person. Sound good?
Okay. All right. I think I can pull this off on
you get to go first.
Mine.
Okay. You get to go first, and I want you to tell me who is the most interesting man in the SEC in 2026.
So we're not talking just straight PR, right?
This could be for any reason. This could be for any reason. No rules. Stay thirsty.
I could go really, really obvious here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go Kalen DeBoer, Alabama.
So,
because of everything that is riding on this upcoming season for him at Alabama and how 2025 ended, I think there's a lot of pressure going down in Tuscaloosa on him this season. I know he signed an extension. I don't care. But if they throw up a 4-loss, 5-loss season, I'm not saying they are, it could get very, very dicey.
Well, it's funny. I had Greg Bird written down.
That's a good thing. Okay.
As someone who could be the most interesting man in this conference because of what you just said.
Okay.
What I find interesting is if you think about the conference right now and you think about the names that people know that gravitate towards, that have an opinion about, yes. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is number 1 on this list. I think it's Lane Kiffin and I think it's Arch Manning.
I would agree with that.
I think those two draw more eyes and attention than everybody else. But if you're asking who could change the story of the conference more, it is Kalen DeBoer / Greg Burns / whoever they pick at quarterback.
Yes.
At Alabama. Because they're very, very good. You know what? This goes back to our World Cup draft. They're Argentina, man.
Oh, they're good. Like
because they have very good. They have very good players.
Yes. And I think they're going to be fine either way they go at the quarterback position. I think they're going to be good on defense. I think the running games are better. What I'm saying is, this is a semifinal football team this year, but you better make the semifinals, in my opinion,
of the playoff.
Yes.
Are they top 4 in the SEC?
No. Hear me out here. They have the talent, I think, on the roster to make the semifinals. I'm not saying it's do or die. I'm saying they just have the talent. Would you have said that Ole Miss would have been a semifinal team last year?
Okay, I see what you're saying. But you said
I'm just saying I think the threshold could be semifinal for them. I'm not saying it's national championship, whatnot. I'm saying if things go their way, they can make semifinal.
But they're upside.
Yeah, they're upside too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I look at them this year.
I'm kind of surprised because you're so obsessed with Kiffin. I thought for sure you were going to take Kiffin.
Well, Kiffin's such the obvious, and it's not obsessed. I mean, come on, man. Like, get it right.
I always just give you the chance to take Kiffin in these conversations, and then I come back because I'll take Arch Manning because while I think Kiffin is fascinating and interesting, I actually I don't think they're a championship caliber team yet. I don't think he's getting fired the way Kalen DeBoer's on the hot seat. I don't think there's as much pressure on him as there is on Texas or Georgia or Alabama or A&M or whatever. I'm fascinated with Oklahoma and Ole Miss, which we'll get to in a second. But I'll take Arch Manning because I think he's whether we like it or not, as a group of people who love college football, he's a thing you have to pay attention to. And whether he does really well and half the internet's brain explodes, or he does really poorly and the other half of the internet's brain explodes, half the internet explodes when Arch Manning plays a game. And whether we like it or not, he drives interest and conversation. You may hate Texas. You may like Texas. You may be an NFL scout who thinks he's great. You may be a NFL scout in your mom's basement who thinks he's terrible. Like, it does not matter. Everyone has an opinion on him. And so Steve Sarkisian, for all of his talent and accomplishment, he's had some big wins, getting to the semifinal a couple of years ago, right? Winning a Big 12 championship, getting to the semifinal, beating A&M twice. So he's had some really big wins. This is 4 years. This is the fourth year that he and Arch Manning have been together. And
he's got for a title.
They have to compete at a higher level now.
Yes. You can't have like what you had with trips to Lexington and Starkville this season.
Right.
Like this and the Arch Manning thing, I think you remember last SEC media days last year, where he said, I don't know why these expectations are on me. I haven't earned it. I haven't done anything to be here yet.
That's right.
Right. No. I agree. I vouch for him for the entire season, not because it was Arch Manning, because I understood that I thought the expectations were a little bit much for a guy that only started one game. This year, oh no. Like this year, here we go.
Okay.
This is it. Especially with what they did wide receiver in the portal. All right, let's continue.
All right, you got your head coach. I got my quarterback. Let's keep going. What you got? You can take an extra coach or quarterback, but just let's play the game here. Drink some good beer. Yazoo Brewing Company.
I'm gonna go wide receiver position. I'm gonna go.
Really? Okay.
I just can Cam Coleman be the guy for Texas this year that they paid him to be?
Such a weird sentence, but yeah.
That's where I'm going. I'm gonna go Cam Coleman.
Is Cam Coleman worth the money? Can he deliver ROI?
I'm just telling you.
Is he the best wide receiver on his own team?
For $2.4 million? I mean, I would.
How much is the other guy making? Probably about the same.
Probably about the same. I honestly, it was. I could have gone a couple of different routes there with my second pick, but because we haven't gotten into the whole pressure cooker situation yet, so I'm holding that one off.
Okay.
I look at Cam Coleman. You brought up Arch. Well, Arch has got to have something on offense this year with him. They have the tools. Can they actually succeed with him? I went with Coleman.
Right, Ryan Wingo in there, of course, as well.
Absolutely.
No, I think Coleman's a big one. The pressure cooker to me, one of them, and I can't really take two players at once here because I already took a quarterback, but you joked about Dylan Stewart, but like we can talk Lenore Sellers, and I think he is also as interesting as anybody else, but for different reasons. Not because South Carolina is going to win a championship. Not because I guess they could make a playoff push. They almost did it a couple of years ago with him as the quarterback.
They've got the talent.
But I think Dylan Stewart, who is projected top 5 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
They have less, like, I love the Colin Simmons angle. I love Colin Simmons as a part of this conversation as well at Texas, because I think he could be that big of a game wrecker. But there's more around him, and the offense is the focus with Texas. I think with South Carolina, for them to realize their potential and for Shane Beamer to stay off the hot seat, Lenora Sellers and Dylan Stewart have to be elite, because they have to kind of, I don't want to say carry their defenses and offenses. That's not the fair thing to say. But Dylan
is the fair thing to say.
But Dylan Stewart is a Myles Garrett level talent.
Yes.
And if he delivers Myles Garrett level performance, then South Carolina is going to be so difficult to play against. They're going to challenge for a lot more wins than anybody expects. And if Dylan Stewart is not, then we've seen the defense when he is not elite. And so I think Dylan Stewart is absolutely in this conversation for most interesting people in the conference.
I don't disagree because it's after last season. I think it's pretty obvious where South Carolina can go here, but you just brought it up, the two players, in my opinion, that this is all going to, circle around if they're going to have success. And I think that they do, actually. I think that, and I'm not, when I say success, I'm not talking, all right, 1 or 2 in the SEC. I think they could hover around 4, 5, 6 in the SEC this season. I do. They have the talent and on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And I feel like you put this team with their backs up against the wall, kind of go unnoticed a little bit, flying underneath the radar this spring, early part of summer, conversation-wise. Yeah, South Carolina. But they have to have it from Dylan Stewart this year.
So you don't hate that one?
Especially coming off the edge. No, I don't hate that one because there's a lot of pressure on him.
He might also be the best defensive player in the conference. So
right. No, I agree. I agree.
But he needs to be that.
He has to be that if they're going to be successful this year. They can't if knowing South Carolina's roster, this is not a 2-3 deep type of thing where others can take up the slack.
If they're 6-6, is Shane Beamer back?
No. It all depends on what the market looks like. And I think we figure out the market within the first month and a half of the season.
He's under a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. No, I agree. But I appreciate the fact that he embraced it and didn't go take another job last season. He could have gone and taken another job last season.
I wonder which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Tennessee Brew Works, Yazoo Brewing Company, East Nashville Beer Works. Make sure you buy good local craft beers. Okay, who you got next?
So we were talking about pressure cookers. I'm going back to the coaching realm.
Let's do it.
Josh Heupel.
Ooh, okay. Speak.
Josh Heupel. I think that what is this whole offseason for Tennessee centered around besides the quarterback position? One player in particular who's not even working out with the team right now. People are getting tired, and it's not Josh's fault. I want to make this clear. Like, it ain't Josh's overall fault that Chaz Coleman is essentially not a part of the team right now, and they're trying to figure out legal avenues to separate from Chaz Coleman. But I also feel like this is the year Heupel has to get back to 2022 level. And and when I say that, I understand what he had at quarterback then. I'm saying you better come out and show some freaking promise for 2027, or the conversation is going to heat up around Knoxville. And everything he's done, I give him credit for. I give him credit for the Joey Aguilar situation last year and how they handled that. I'm just saying Tennessee fans are getting restless right now seeing others.
But Tennessee, no.
Right.
I've never heard of that before.
Others find success like what happened at Ole Miss last year. I could go on and on. It's time for them to get back in the conversation.
See, I
don't think he's not in trouble. I want to make this clear.
Right. I don't think he's in trouble.
Not in trouble for his job. I'm talking about perception of Tennessee football 2-3 years from now is what I'm getting at. They cannot come out and throw up a 6-6 season. That cannot happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have
like that. I just want to make it clear. Not that he's going to get fired, but perception, raising money, this whole entertainment district nonsense that I'm already tired of hearing about. They have got to take a step.
I think the most interesting man in Knoxville is Jim Knowles.
I agree, but that's a 2-year process, man.
No, I hear you. But I think it's something that Josh Heupel has never had. I don't think ever in his career is a guy who is considered among the best in the country at his job on the other side of the ball. He's never really been paired with somebody that is viewed and as highly regarded as Jim Knowles. He's recruited really well prior to Knowles' arrival.
Yep.
On the defensive side of the ball, in particular the defensive front.
A lot of that helps Ronnie Garner.
You just mentioned, absolutely, shout out to Garner, but you just mentioned one of them that's a question mark.
Say his name.
But Chaz Coleman, if you think if Jim Knowles is the guy that was worth the enormous contract to go from Ohio State to Penn State.
Don't forget about the strength and conditioning coach as well, Wingo. That's a bad dude.
And then from the Penn State to Tennessee.
Yes.
And what is he, $3.25 million? Is that right?
Pretty much.
If he is worth that, then what he brings and what he does to the defense is should elevate them to an almost on par level with the offense. And yes, it's on Heupel to fix the offense. It's on Heupel to develop a quarterback. It's on Heupel to evolve the offense. And they are, in my opinion, they are not as interesting as a program because I don't think they're a playoff team, but I don't think he's on the hot seat. So they're kind of stuck in this middle territory where I don't know if they're going to get a lot of headlines. They're just going to kind of be a good team, I think. And so I think the way they go from good team to super interesting program that we are paying attention to every single Saturday outside of like regular SEC fandom is if Jim Knowles is an elite, it creates an elite defense right away.
Yeah, because he brought in a number of different players. Yes, Coleman was one of them, but they brought in a number of players to get them through the first season. Meaning, for folks, I talked to people that have worked with Jim Knowles. This is a 2-year thing, so it's a 2-year install for this defense essentially. But you've got to bring in guys that know the system that can be able to play it immediately, which is what Tennessee did, and I give them credit for that. I'm saying I think probably by the 5th or 6th game of the year, you'll see a different Tennessee defense than you saw in the first month. Maybe that's where things could separate. But But to wrap it, Tennessee is going to be a very, very good defensive team, in my opinion, in the next 2 years. It's time for Josh's side to get back going essentially on offense. They've always, and by the way, they've always had a running game. Tennessee's running game and offensive line have been really well. I think the problem for Tennessee has always been with Josh Heupel is you had the 2022 season. So everybody's like, okay, it's got to be 2022. Jalen Hyatt scoring 5 touchdowns against Bama, running wild, just free. That's what they expect, when in reality, he's changed his system multiple times while at Tennessee to suffice the players.
All right, I got Arch Manning, I think, is the most interesting offensive player. I got Dylan Stewart, the most interesting defensive player. I think Jim Knowles is the most interesting defensive coordinator. You've got Kalen DeBoer, Josh Heupel, Cam Coleman. Who you got next?
Okay. I'm going to go John Mateer. Oklahoma quarterback, Brent Venables, I think has an opportunity here this season to add another playoff appearance to his resume. And at the same time, there's a lot of money being poured into that Oklahoma football team for this upcoming season. They need to come through with it.
So pressure.
A lot of pressure. He couldn't help the hand thing last year. But boy, oh boy, has it's ramping back up now.
I have Mateer as one of the 3 or 4 most interesting offensive players in the conference. I think Arch and Sellers are up there. For different reasons. And I think there's one I'm going to draft later, so I'm not going to bring him up, that I think is super fascinating on a different level. But I have Mateer on my list as one of the only 4 I would write on here because I think of all the dynamics at play. The injury, the offensive balance, getting into the playoff last year at home, kind of reestablishing Brent Venables as a legitimate coach in Oklahoma, but now there's pressure there. They're investing more. What's Mateer look like in an offense that ideally is more balanced and he's healthier? I find him to be, first of all, I just think he's an utterly interesting football player to watch in general. But then you put him on this team with these contexts around this program and this coach and the pressure of what last year delivered and now the pressure of this year. I agree with you. I think Mateer is absolutely one of the 3 or 4 most interesting players.
His hand
clearly,
great, by the way, gripping a hot dog and nachos at the College World Series game. Shout out to Oklahoma.
They won the whole thing, right? Yesterday.
Yeah,
congratulations.
You know what's crazy about that? I didn't realize this, and I know we're not getting off topic, but the SEC has won 7 straight national championships in baseball.
How many different teams?
6.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That is
pretty good.
That's damn impressive.
It's pretty good.
Well, whatever. Yeah. So no, I'm going Tom's here. All right, what do you have?
Well, Bo says Giga Maggies, Marcel Reed is right there with Mateer. Here's what I'm going to say about Georgia and A&M, and this is a quick side note here.
Okay, all right, side note it.
I think Georgia and A&M are the least interesting teams in this conference among contenders, and I think that's what you want.
Absolutely.
Look at Georgia. You're like, okay, Gunnar Stockton, that's kind of boring. Like nobody on the coaching staff is that interesting. The defense has some rock stars that are going to turn into superstars. The secondary's got a bunch of really talented pieces already, and we'll find out who some of these the pass rushers are going to get better for Georgia, but we don't know who they are yet. Like we don't know the exact which guy's going to be a rock star. Like it's kind of boring. Now, you look at A&M, Reed's a little bit more of a star and more of an interesting thing because he's not quite all the way there, but I don't think Stockton's all the way there.
I think Reed
I
has
don't
taken steps this summer too. Like he brought his whole entire offensive group to Nashville for a 2-week training session at D1. Like that's pretty.
Mike Elko's a totally boring coach in all the best ways possible.
Yes.
Replacing their coordinators is a big thing. I guess that's interesting. But like I really do think I like Georgia and A&M 1-3 in the conference behind with Texas in the middle, and it's in part because they don't have any noise. There's no noise around these programs in the best ways possible. Like you could look at some star power for A&M, and they've got some you got Mario Craver, who's a rock star, but like that guy's not like he's super fascinating football player, fun player, but he's not like he doesn't have this drama that Cam Coleman has behind his recruitment or whatever. Like I just think they're boring teams, but in a positive, complimentary way.
Boring teams that are about to go out and whip somebody's ass this year.
That's right. That's
exactly.
Dude, the Texas A&M was 11-0.
I know.
Do people not remember this? Like I was looking at these magazines and like Texas A&M is like 4th and 5th in the conference. I'm like, what are you people talking about?
Texas A&M was so good that they let South Carolina beat the absolute holy hell out of them in the first half, and then said, "All right, let's turn the flip. Here you go, flip the switch, guys. We're good now. Let's go play football." And came back and just beat up on South Carolina. Which is the craziest thing that we saw during the 2026 season. One of the craziest things we saw. I just remember Shane Beamer going to the locker room. He's like pumping up the crowd, and all of a sudden A&M comes out and said, "All right, I'm about to go full for Ivan Drago in your ass."
Bo says Elko doesn't want to win the offseason. That's Texas territory. He wants to win the season. Yeah, I agree with you. All right, so my pick now?
Yeah, it's your time.
I don't have a head coach. I don't have an OC yet. I just can't take Lane Kiffin. I can't take Lane Kiffin. He's just like inherently. He's almost like drafting Tiger in a golf draft, like when Tiger was in his peak.
Charlie Weiss.
No, it's my pick.
I know. No,
and I'll take his replacement for both of those guys. I think Pete Golding is one of the most fascinating and interesting characters for all the reasons. I have no clue if he's going to be able to build a program of his own. They have 2 rock stars on offense that are going to be high profile, must watch, must see TV all the time. He is on a program that in theory should be competing for playoff spots and for deep runs like they did last year. And I think he's an insane character. Like I just think he's a bigger than life personality. And I think Pete Golding is a fascinating, like he's almost actually the most interesting man in the SEC.
Pete Golding is going to be a star, whether they're going to have success this year, Braden, but I'm saying in the future, Pete Golding is going to be a lightning rod, in my opinion, for all the good things. Like you're about to see that, and I mean that in a way of
explain yourself.
Good old boy coaching in the SEC, tries to act naive to certain things, but at the same time, I think he has a plan the whole time. Like
tries to lure Clemson quarterbacks to campus.
Who hasn't tried to lure players through tampering? The only dumb thing he did was probably showing, I don't know why, I guess it was a fake $1 million check to this player, allegedly. So Luke Farrelly, rat, so like I agree with you with the I think Pete Golding, it's going to be fast. I can't get past September 19th.
I like if you take Kiffin off the board just because he's Kiffin and he's got this, he's like his own planet. He has his own gravitational force of interest and attention. If you take him away from this conversation, I think it's Kalen DeBoer and Pete Golding are the 2 most interesting coaches. Like, there's a lot of other interesting coaches. Like, I love Alex Golish and Josh Heupel and Drinkowitz, and they're all interesting. But I think if you're telling me, like, I think Shane Beamer might be number 3 on my list behind Golding and DeBoer.
I like Shane this year because I think Shane's going to be in the no F's given mood all season.
I guess.
I'm just.
You better be careful with that because that's what happened when he had the no F's given after a 30-3 halftime lead.
They went full.
You start running your mouth to fans in the stands, and you got to finish the game before you start doing that.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, all right.
Who you got?
You win.
It's not a competition. We're just having a talk.
Man, I haven't picked an OC yet. I'm going back to my first choice. I want to see the dynamic between what Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to try to do it in Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin on offense.
So now we're just being cute by not picking Lane Kiffin. Just pick Lane Kiffin and talk about Charlie Weiss.
Well, see, I mean,
how is Lane Kiffin not the most interesting man in the entire conference, period?
He is, but I think that's like the given.
Okay, all right.
Like, okay, all right, I'll just go Lane Kiffin, whatever. If they come out and get beat by Clemson to start the season, I'm telling you, dude, like there has been pressure on coaches before, and some of it is justified, and some of it's not justified. But if old Dabo rolls down to Baton Rouge and they win that first game at night, dude, the amount of shit that Lane Kiffin is going to get from two different states, the state of Louisiana and the state of Mississippi, is going to be fascinating to watch. I am so excited to see what happens the first 3 weeks of the year.
I know. I'm going to say LSU coaches. I'm going to write that down. Okay.
Yeah, LSU coaches. Yeah.
I'm going to do Buster Faulkner.
Oh, wow. Okay. I like that. OC, Florida.
I love Buster Faulkner as a coach. I love his schemes. I think his offenses are super fun and interesting to watch.
Yep.
I think he has way more pieces with the ball kid in the backfield. Aaron Philo, he's got about half his offense is going to be from the portal. He's got Singleton, a number of other transfers that are coming in. He's got some talent on the offensive line. They did not leave, Billy Napier did not leave the cupboard bare. There's some interesting pieces there. Most notably Jaden Baugh. I think I cannot wait to see what he does with Aaron Philo and the offense and the weapons and the Florida resources. Now that he's sort of away from Georgia Tech resources and restrictions, and he's into an SEC big-time elite program resources, I cannot wait to see what that offense looks like. I know you're high on Florida, but if you're asking me who is the most interesting offensive hire in this conference, I think the most interesting offensive coordinator hire in the league that could have the biggest impact on this season is Buster Faulkner and the Florida Gators. I cannot wait to see what he does with those pieces on that offense.
See, I'm trying to find holes in your draft plan, but I can't because John Summerall absolutely nailed that hire. Absolutely. He could. Dude, there were multiple options out there for John to go take, and grabbing Buster, along with knowing what the quarterback room was going to look like without DJ Lagway, I'm a little buzzed on Florida this year. I'm feeling a little tingly, a little high.
Little peyote, little ayahuasca.
Little peyote. I think Florida, a little ayahuasca.
Well, it's Gainesville. It's more like meth, but whatever.
That's true. Meth, crack, it doesn't matter. I am very, very fascinated with Florida because to me, on paper, looking at that roster, I can see 8 wins out of the Gators. They're going to cause some problems this year for teams, even on the road, even out. Like I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team.
Okay.
But
let's not go crazy.
No.
You really are high.
No. I'll get drug tested. I can't do that. I'm just messing.
What kind of company you working for?
Fox doesn't drug test.
It's 2026, dog. Come on now.
Drug test everybody at that place. But in a good way. I do. I don't know what it is.
Good way. All right. So you like Buster Faulkner. That's what I'm hearing. All right. I don't know what the people need to be drug tested in a good way. I don't know what kind of good way that is. Make sure you go drink beer. East Nashville Beer Works, Tennessee Brew Works, and Yazoo Brewing Company up there on the river in Madison. Great locations. Absolutely.
Thursday night, baby.
What'd you say?
Especially Thursday night.
That's right. Is that trivia night at Yazoo?
It's trivia night, and our boys don't have to win. We just need to be healthy.
Yeah.
Don't get any cards. Don't on any.
Well, they're not gonna play anybody. They're gonna Adams, Robinson, Richards. Pulisic's not gonna play because of the injury, but Robinson. This has been your World Cup Minute, brought to you by Yazoo Brewing Company. Adams, Robinson, who else? Richards and Balogun are all gonna be out. I imagine they don't play because they're on yellow cards. Yeah, so you get them out. I would keep Freeze in there.
Yes.
I'd keep a handful of other guys in there. Turkey's going to shoot a lot, so Freeze has had like 2 saves the whole tournament. So
right.
Yes, Thursday night watch party. Yazoo Brewing Company, also East Nashville Beer Works and Tennessee Brew Works.
And don't freak out if they tie or they drop the game 1-0. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
32, we're good.
All right, who you got? We got a couple more rounds here, and then we got to go.
Can you flip this around and you go? But okay.
Okay, you want me to?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to lay him.
I got one more player and then one way off the board.
Oh wow. Okay.
The only other quarterback I have on the list: Sellers, Arch Manning, John Mateer. The only other there are other great quarterbacks. Trinidad Chambliss is great. Gunnar Stockton's really good. Marcel Reed's interesting. A lot of really, really interesting people. But the one I think is more interesting for a number of reasons is Byron Brown. Not only is he super fun to watch with his athletic ability, a la Trinidad Chambliss.
Okay.
But this whole like importing of an offense after Auburn has 5 straight seasons of losing records.
Yeah.
And you turn to Alex Golish, who wasn't your first choice to take over, but he brings with him a star quarterback.
Damn you, Arkansas.
I find Byron Brown to be utterly interesting and fascinating, and what the offense looks like around him. They lose a couple of key pieces, of course, in the portal. I just think Brown has a chance to be really special. I think they brought their center from South Florida. They're like, hey, this is the guy who snaps the ball to Byron Brown. Let's bring him too. So like, I just find it really interesting what he is going to do with knowing the system and coming with Golish at a school like Auburn that has a history of kind of finding these under the radar dual threat quarterbacks and kind of letting them go, like meaning letting them play and like letting them have fun. I think Byron Brown is really, really interesting.
I can't disagree with you. And I think Auburn is such a fascinating team this year because of what they brought in and the ability on the offensive coaching staff to turn this thing into something. Alex Golish did not come to Auburn to sit around and put up 6-7 wins in the first season, even though it might turn out that way. Did you just 6-7 me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 6-7. Yeah. I set that one up. Yeah. I think that this opens up an opportunity for Auburn to actually be pretty damn good on offense this year. And I think it's going to surprise some people. And I think, you know what? I hate to make this comparison, but I'm going to kind of make it anyways. It's going to kind of look like Tennessee in 2022.
You mean like Hendon Hooker 2022?
No, just Tennessee's offense. Like when you see it, you're going to see a lot of concepts that you saw, probably upped a little bit.
Like a lot of deep shots to receivers and
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I expect to see more quarterback running than
you absolutely
than
will.
Heupel. Okay.
Right. Yeah, you absolutely
All right. Do you have anybody else you want to add? Because I'm going to go with the last one here. And
Sam Leavitt.
Okay. I like that.
Sam Leavitt, quarterback, LSU. Let's see how healthy you are, young man. Pressure is on you.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of reasons. But I don't know if LSU can afford to have to go to the backup this season. So
I don't even know who that is.
Pressure. It's not Caden Martin, T. Martin's son. This is he's at LSU now. He's walked on.
Just down the street from Mobile.
Yeah. T's down in Mobile and Caden's down in Mobile now. Down in Baton Rouge. So I think it's Sam Leavitt. I think we have not. We haven't got to look at him yet, coming off the injury.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, 5 minutes of viewing at practice does not work when he's not doing anything anyways. So, yeah, Sam Leavitt for me going into fall camp. And I think CFP expectations are riding on him along with the defense. But
all right. So that was hopefully 35-ish minutes of just pure, unadulterated football talk.
Yeah.
So, Yazoo Brewing Company, Tennessee Brew Works, Tennessee Beer Works, excuse me. God, what am I doing? Tennessee Brew Works, East Nashville Beer Works.
That's you.
Hey, beer and brew, it's pretty similar, right? I mean, it's pretty close.
No, it is actually.
East Nashville Beer Works, Tennessee Brew Works, Yazoo Brewing Company. They are 3 great and amazing local sponsors and breweries and collections of beer and food.
Who would you take in your supplemental draft? Brendan, sorry.
Josh D'Amaro. Do you know who that is?
Yes, but why did you go with Josh D'Amaro?
He is the new president of Disney. Bob Iger stepped away a couple months ago.
Yep.
So I could say Jimmy Pitaro, who is technically my boss. Eventually, I got to get to, I got 36 bosses to get to, just like you can't call Rupert your boss. I can't call Pitaro my boss.
My boss, I guess, in a way.
But technically, Josh D'Amaro is my boss too. because my paycheck says Disney on it. One of my paychecks. But, and I don't know. So tomorrow's going to be fast. He's got decisions to make about ESPN.
I know.
Now, they're not going to spin it off. They're going to keep it as a part of the Disney fold because live TV and live sports is too valuable. But they're trying all this streaming stuff. But most importantly, the people who can, and this is the same for your company in the Big Ten, right? It's the same. It's not any different.
No, Fox.
The people that could force the SEC, Greg Sankey, the Big Ten, Tony Petitti, to sit down, work out their differences like children, and say compromise so that we can put all of this behind us, create a centralized governing body. We're going to include the Big 12 and the ACC, maybe even the Pac-12. We are going to include the group of 5. Here's what the playoffs going to look like. Here's what scheduling is going to look like. Here's what's going to happen on conference championship day. Here's what's going to happen with revenue share. Here's what it's going to happen with employee status. The irony of all of this is that the people who can actually force them to do that are the broadcast networks. And in the SEC, they're in bed with ESPN.
And Eric Shanks is running stuff for Fox with the Big Ten.
That's right. And so Jimmy Pitaro leads ESPN. Josh D'Amaro, no relation, leads Disney. And they will have major sway in what is going to happen throughout the course of this season. And while it is not on the field, you got meetings all summer long, and then you got more meetings in December. And
you got a special meeting probably coming in August, by the way.
There are going to be things that happen that you may not see a name like Jimmy Pitaro. You may not see a name like Josh D'Amaro on these lists of all these decisions that are going to be happening, but you can bet that the broadcast partners who are putting up $8 billion into the SEC are going to have thoughts and opinions about what's happening. And they've already probably been voiced very clearly to whoever needs to hear them.
Yes, they were.
So the question is when there is a moment where someone has to make a tough decision, who is leaning on the folks that have to make the tough decision? And my guess is going to be the 2 big broadcast partners. And so I'm going to throw them in there at the end here.
It just so happens that the network that needs the decision by December also owns the rights to SEC football. Pressure's coming.
It's not malicious or clandestine or like some. It's just like business. This is just business,
right?
Like
the same thing that Eric Shanks is doing right now with the Big Ten and trying to push the 2014 playoff. Yeah. Why do you think he wants it? Because they want to bid on the extra games and they know that they can get them. Right. It's real simple. Right. And then when the SEC and the Big Ten break off, when this congressional bill does not pass and they form a super conference, it's going to be Eric Shanks and Josh
D'Amaro. Yeah, there you go.
I know I'm messing with you. Sitting down at a table and figuring out how they're going to put together a package plan that's going to set them up in 10 years when a Super League is formed.
Like, you could throw Greg Sankey on this list. You could put Jimmy Sexton on this list if you want to. But I think the people who have the most impact and most intrigue on this are the broadcast executives.
Yeah, I haven't seen
the big decision.
Jimmy Sexton work that much like he did. Like, not in a bad
way.
Yeah,
he's taking this year off
in 2025, dude.
Yeah, he's taking this year off. Yeah.
I mean, I know they got a new office opening up in Nashville next week. Or actually, it's this week actually.
They're gonna they'll pick out the South Carolina new coach, but that's about it.
Yes. Maybe the Alabama new coach.
Oh, okay.
I'm just messing.
Lane Kiffin, come on down,
dude. I swear, yeah.
Greg Burns on this list too. We just didn't pick him. So we talked about it earlier.
Greg Byrne is. Greg. There is a interesting dilemma where Greg Byrne is potentially. I'm just gonna have to be looking for a new football coach and a new basketball coach in 2027.
Oh, where's old boy going?
Would Nate Oates end up at Michigan? Go back home to Michigan? Kalen DeBoer.
I can't wait. I can't wait for future fired NBA coach and future Indiana head basketball coach Dusty May
Yes, yes.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
I love all the folks that were shocked by that. It's like, guys, did y'all not know he was interviewing with NBA teams for the last 5 weeks? What are you doing?
It's literally like John Calipari, Bailey Donovan,
right?
Go down the list. Brad Stevens, they all try it. John Beeline.
And by the way, just a little bit of breaking news while we're on here: the NCAA has passed a new eligibility rule now, so it's 5 and 5. It is passed.
Okay.
It is done. So you get 5 years to play 5 seasons, and it starts on your 19th birthday or the day you enroll at any college. Any college. It could be community college.
What if I go to the military at 18 and get out at 26, I can't go back to college?
You can file a waiver.
Starts at 19 no matter what.
Starts at 19 no matter what.
Okay.
You can file a waiver though.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
There you go. Yeah, no, we're rocking and rolling, and the NCAA came down today, finally passed that. Brendan Sorsby doesn't get his, and there are 3 SEC schools, by the way, that were very thankful that Brendan Sorsby did not end up on their campus. But go ahead.
Tennessee, LSU, and who else?
What's the third one?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, right.
You're not going to tell me?
No, I'm not.
Come on. He was a high-level transfer. They were all interested.
Yes. Yeah. Let's just say that they were all interested.
Oh, you goober! All right. Make sure you follow all of Trey's work. Make sure you drink good local craft beer. Yazoo, Tennessee Brew Works, East Nashville Beer Works. Make sure you check all of them out. Listen to all the other great shows across the 440 Sports Network. We have Titans coverage. We have World Cup coverage in Nashville, SC coverage on Club and Country. We got Preds coverage with Pecorine going to the Hall of Fame. Making big trades, all kinds of good stuff over there. So make sure you check out the Gold Standard. All you can get, of course, on the 440 Sports YouTube page or podcast channel as well. So check out all that great stuff. Please support good local businesses. Trey, thank you for hanging out.
Thanks,
enjoy your week. Go to Absinthe. My name is Braden Gall. Thanks for hanging out. We will talk to you next time.